Hello, hello. Welcome to this Tarotscope for Aquarius. I'm wearing my granny sweater and I am ready to rock and roll. So let's see what energies are coming through for the highest and best for Aquarius, you awesome possums. So what I did is we're just going to do a little insight into your career, your animal totem energy, past, present, future, and then of course your love life and your relationship with yourself. And I've also got a clarifying card with that. I'm using two of my own decks that I created, the Shadow Fantasy Oracle and the Kindred Spirit Love Oracle. You can find info on purchase for those in the details if you like. You can also find me on Facebook at Kindred Heart Tarot. If you want to donate to the channel, you can do that as well. There's a PayPal link that is just pinned right to the top of the Facebook page. You don't have to, it's not required, but if you feel like buying coffee or contributing to the page, that is where you would do so. And I do have the playlists for the other zodiac signs up if you haven't caught them already, and or you can cross watch those. I do the readings for the sun sign and the ascendant, and you can also find general reads on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I also just did a Tuesday general read. If you want to catch that on my channel, it should be uploaded now. So go ahead and take a looky-loo if you feel called to do so. Otherwise, let's get started and see what energies are surrounding Aquarius at this time. So your career energies have the message of yoga. So alignment, balancing your energies. It says your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. So Aquarius, you're really up in your mind a lot. And Spirit is saying right now it is really important to bring your energy down into your body. If you're off balance, if everything that is happening is always in your mind, you're going to be really strong in the upper chakras, but not strong enough in the root and sacral chakras to actually feel stable, safe, and secure. And even if you're constantly working towards that, it's almost like the energy is undermining you because you don't have the alignment, you don't have the bottom chakras rooted. And so you're kind of stuck up here constantly. And that's not helping you. So what Spirit's message is in terms of your career, in terms of that energy of productivity and advancement, is that it is a priority. It's not just something that you might do, but you're going to have to discipline and commit to aligning your energies and staying balanced. Otherwise, you're not going to meet those goals that you have set out because the energy just isn't supportive of it. So for you, Aquarius, it's really important, especially this week and during this month, to stay grounded, to get out in nature, but also to move your body in ways that you are showing that you care and you're showing that you are disciplined and committed to getting into better alignment here. So let's see what animal totem is helping you through at this present time. The dragon, supernatural. So you are the ancient wise sage. So we have some magicians, some witches, some warlocks in the house. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny and rise with dignity. So there is some energy here where you might have some choices to make, whether to take action and or respond with integrity and dignity, and or go into the shadow side of your magic. And that's manipulation and kind of taking energy. So you can use the supernatural energy really powerfully if you stay in your integrity. And that includes being balanced enough to know what that is. If you're off balance in your body and you're just up in your mind, you might be creating fear and creating situations that don't actually exist. And that's not going to help you move forward in integrity. So you have to get really comfortable with taking a step back and reworking or reapproaching a situation from a different angle. Because even if you think you had it all figured out, Spirit really wants you to understand that it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to reanalyze, reorganize with more information than you had the first time, and then come in to the situation with that dragon energy, breathing new life, breathing new fire into something that you were passionate about before, but with a more stable foundation and a proper understanding of the importance of your health in terms of your body and your mind being balanced and in the zone. So what's going on for Aquarius in your past position? And this is from the Magical Wisdom deck. Money. No surprise here for these Aquarius. And we were just talking about how important it is for you to be successful and you want to have monetary security. But remember what I was saying is when you're strong in your upper chakras, so if you're mentally really strong and astute, you're intellectual, you're creative, but you don't have the lower chakras properly stabilized, you're not going to be manifesting those creative ideas into the physical as well, because that energy is getting stuck all up here. It doesn't have the proper kind of flow, flexibility to move down into the lower chakras, which are all about the material world, the security. So it says money, find a way to abundance. Now on this picture, we have in particular music. So a lot of you might have a lot of musical talent. This can be very important for you in terms of moving your energy, but also possibly bringing in some monetary support. We also have the owl. So using your intuition, not just your mental faculties, to discern what is right for you in terms of your money-making decisions. If it just looks good on paper, it's not good enough anymore because you're ascending to a new level of understanding on your spiritual path. And so you know it's not just about the ego. It's not just about how much effort you can put out to get money back. It's about a legacy. It's about really building a strong foundation so that you have wealth, not just money. So we also have a wolf here. So that energy will be reassurance for someone. This might be lone wolf energy. This might be pack energy. You really might want to, you might have kind of run as a lone wolf before, and now you're realizing, okay, like community is better. Community does afford me to have a little bit more ability to go after money in a different way, to follow my dreams and use my intuition in addition to my intellect, in addition to my analytical ways of moving in the world. So we also have transformation, we have butterfly, and we also have love here. There's lovers. So, you know, a partnership could also bring you more money because you're really committing and being disciplined in something that's true to your heart. And you understand that this can build a legacy, not just a quick energy of money for the short term, because you are now coming into a stage of your life where you're going, okay, I don't necessarily want the short and sweet. I want wealth and legacy for the future so that I don't have to worry about money anymore. And let's see if there's any other kind of hints or clues. I see moth energy in this as well. So if you are resonating with her, you're kind of thinking, I don't know if this applies to me, then watch out for moth medicine coming your way. And, you know, in this picture as well with the money, we have on her, you know, crown here, this whole kind of mansion or palace. And for me, that what that means is you are a very strong builder in your mind. And now you have to connect the mind to the heart so that you can really bring this medicine through. Let's see what the clarifier is from my Shadow Fantasy Oracle. Mystical portal. So for me, this means that, you know, what you really desire, what you really want in terms of money and wealth and stability and long-term security, you're going to have to go through this mystical portal because, yeah, sure, you could build money. You could be, you know, one of those people that is wealthy and then retires and then you don't have any joy or something happens to your body and you can't enjoy life the way you thought you could. But I feel like for most of you who are going to watch or catch the replay, you don't really want to go that path. You want to be unique in how you make money. You don't just want to work for the man forever and or woman. So there's this mystical portal, this awakening that you might be resisting because you know it's out of your comfort zone and or you like to be in control. But Spirit is going, hey, like if you concede a little bit of this control and take a risk here, a leap of faith on yourself, but also the mystery, you might find some surprising ways that money just makes its way to you. So there's definitely a different way of looking at abundance that's coming through in this reading for you. So let's take a look at your present card. Epiphany. Seek clarity. We have a lot of bird medicine here. So we have just tons of different birds. It looks like seagull, looks like sparrow, you know. We have kind of peacock medicine, butterfly medicine once again. So you guys have been going through a lot of transformation and really having some difficult, rude awakenings, challenging shadow aspects of yourself. And I think it's really difficult sometimes to say that you made a mistake or that you took a wrong turn and that it was all for higher learning. You might be able to look at that broader scope because Aquarius has the energy of humanitarian. And so you guys are able to look at the bigger picture. But if you have trauma from your childhood that makes you obsessed about money or obsessed about power, then it can be really challenging for you to let go of that mindset. So it could be a victim mindset, could be a poverty mindset, and really allow yourself to express in a different way, have this epiphany that you don't have to be the way you always have been. Or perhaps you're finally recognizing, holy shit, I was people pleasing or seeking approval, even though I thought I was much more independent and or kind of not really caring what other people thought of me. I'm realizing that some of the decisions I've made or the way I was raised or the people I'm hanging out with, they're not really supporting my growth in this way. And I can see so much more for myself. So you're having this epiphany that metamorphosis isn't necessarily a bad thing. Change can lead to more abundance. It can lead to a legacy. It can lead to family connections that you haven't really explored in this kind of new way. So Spirit is bringing you awakenings, and some of you are going through the ringer, and some of you might be taking this in stride, going, fuck yeah, I am ready for this. I've been ready for this, and I'm staying open to how the universe is going to bring certain things through for me. But I know I have to let go of how I saw it happening or my beliefs that I have to work hard, hustle, that, it might actually be taking a little bit of time to step back and go, how can I do this more efficiently rather than spending more time or working harder at something that I'm not passionate about. So a lot of messages coming through there for Aquarius in terms of listening to Spirit, listening to the messages that are coming through for you. And to clarify, we have gifts emerging. This is so perfect. This is right in alignment. So seeking clarity, this epiphany, your understanding that it's not just about your intellect. It's not just about how smart you are. You have to play well with others sometimes in order to go the distance. And this includes being able to receive help, just knowing that it's not a one man or woman show, that humans are built on community, that you can have pride in your independence. And it's really beautiful to actually have safe independence, healthy independence, which is different than ultra independence, which comes from trauma, where you don't want to rely on anybody else. You don't want to accept help from anybody else because you never want to be vulnerable. And that in and of itself is a vulnerability because it leaves you open for attack, whether it's yourself or others. So these gifts emerging are really about that connection from your mind and your heart, which will allow you to express and expand in new ways, which will bring you money because you're more in alignment with your true self rather than what other people wanted you to be, or rather than how you adapted or coped with your childhood, etc. So you have some really important gifts, awakenings, epiphanies going on, where you're going from a place of confusion, probably because you were looking at something or issues from a place of wounding and not wanting to admit you were wounded, not wanting to admit that you might have been wrong about something. But now you're going, okay, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone fucks up sometimes. And also, I'm seeing things from a different viewpoint or perspective because I'm now willing to grow, whereas you might have been a little bit resistant before. So these gifts that are emerging will help you move forward with more productivity, but in a way that you can connect to because you're passionate about it. So let's see what we have for your future. Position. Children. Know that your children are protected. This is really beautiful. So some of you might have children and you have some worry about what's going on in the universe in terms of your humanitarian energy, of just seeing things from a different perspective that people in general might not see things from. So you have a different view, and that makes you a little bit unique at times in terms of how you relate to others. So this one, for those people who do have children, is saying that your children are safe and watched over. And they are protected by this fierce kind of tigress energy. So we have the tiger lily energy, but also the animal totem here. So you yourself have the dragon, the supernatural energy, but also this beautiful tigress energy. And you might have been having this animal come up in dreams or synchronicities. So that will be reassurance to you that these messages apply. But also, you might be coming into a time of your life where, I was talking about that ultra independence, which stems from trauma from childhood, and or, a place where you're like, nope, I'm going to be solo independent. And now you're going, whoa, I'm at an age and I'm having these epiphanies and clarity that I want to move in a different direction. You might want children and you never wanted them before, really. Like you weren't fully committed. And so this could be for a few of you, you're really opening up to this idea of expanding in a totally different way, which would be being committed to a partnership where you would raise and or have children of your own, which would be so amazing. So this is a really beautiful energy. And of course, it has a lot of orange. So this is that sacral chakra again. So connected to the root. And remember that yoga card at the beginning really saying, you have to balance these lower chakras, you guys, or else you're going to feel so lopsided in your present and future energies. So this will really help you know how worthy you are. You might have had insecurities about being a parent. And now that you have come to understand your material wealth or value in a different way, that you can be valuable without having money, that can be an insecurity. But it doesn't have to hold you back and stop you from having these epiphanies and allowing your gifts to emerge, because these gifts could be like an artistic talent that you bring through and you end up making millions from. So the way you've always done things might not have worked. And I think you're ready to go, okay, I'm ready to try something different here. And that also includes the way you've seen yourself and your ability to move in the world. You might be ready for a family. This is really cool. But also, before I move on to the clarifying card, you are learning that you have to protect your inner child and heal your inner child, because the more you move forward resisting and basing your life choices off of the pain and hurt of the past, the more you're just continually sabotaging yourself subconsciously. So you're, I believe, ready to heal that wounding so that you can feel like your life has flow again, like you're moving and you're happy and you're content and you're joyful, rather than hitting roadblock. And the reason why that's happened is because you're coming from a place of trauma and wounding, and that can be subconscious. You don't even realize that, you don't even understand that's happening because the trauma is so deep and buried. So now you're kind of having those epiphanies, those aha moments of, whoa, I did this because my parents taught me that, or whoa, I see things like this because I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I'm hypersensitive to money issues or whatnot, right? So definitely a lot of inner child energy coming through. And to clarify that, we have sneaky behavior. So it says, know that your children are protected. And in terms of this might connect to sneaky behavior of your parents, that you didn't feel protected as a child. And so that is why some of these issues from the past are really rearing their ugly head. And you're having to do a lot of work. So there's a lot of tower moments, a lot of dark night of the soul. You're really questioning everything under the sun. And that can have to do with sneaky behavior from your parents. You might actually have had a hand in some sneaky behavior from these wounds of the past that came from your inner child wounding. And so you might have to take responsibility for some of this sneaky behavior before you can move forward, in that way where you feel like nothing's nagging at you. So if you do have something spiritual nagging at you that you need to clear up something, you need to speak the truth on something, then this is kind of giving you a sign that in order to heal that energy, you might have to call out this behavior, whether this is in you or someone else, and simply or recognize that there was sneaky behavior in one of your parents and that you took this on in adulthood, and that has sabotaged some of your decision making. And so this is a really powerful energy, just to acknowledge that there are times where you recognize and you realize and you're like, wow, it hits you over the head like a ton of bricks. Like, I have been insecure and fearful because of the way my mom or dad was, or because of bullying in childhood or whatnot, right? And so if you have manipulation or control energies that you need to resign in order to move forward, it's up to you to nurture that inner child in you and move forward from that and create a new story for yourself, one that doesn't involve that victimization or poverty mindset. So very important here that you navigate away from these sneaky behaviors, because that isn't allowing you to grow as much as you really want to. So this is a subtle self-sabotaging energy, and or not so subtle if you're cheating or you're lying. Those energies just kind of stifle your progress. And so Spirit is really saying, like, if you've got the clarity on something, it's time to kind of accept that you've learned something new, or you see something from a different perspective, or you see yourself more empowered, and you can, admit you might not have these conversations with parents if they're deceased, and or if it's just not really possible for you. But maybe you write a letter and you burn it, or you put it in the river or something like that. And or you practice ho'oponopono, which is, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you, please forgive me. Those energies you can do energetically to apologize for people that you lied to or manipulated. And that can do a lot in terms of the 5D energy. And that is what we were talking about before, with that epiphany, the clarity, and the gifts emerging. Your intuition is expanding. You're learning, you're growing. So let's see what we have for your relationship energy. And this is from a Kindred Spirit Love Oracle. Fixated. It says, it can be shocking when things unfold in a direction that makes us uncomfortable or insecure. When we focus on a specific outcome, we are dependent on another's action, which is out of your control. Claim back your power and focus inward on the evolution of your soul, exactly where you are now. Deep acceptance is required. So, this one's difficult because when we have, and a lot of us do have trauma in childhood and or bullying in childhood, when we're kind of like a black sheep or a lone wolf or rainbow psychedelic sheep, you might have this energy where you're clinging to something, but in a specific way, or you're clinging to something from a wounded place, from a wounded perspective. And really the truth is much more beautiful or much more deep than that. And the universe is bringing you the truth. Are you open to listening to the truth? Are you open to seeing it from a different perspective? So being fixated on a particular outcome, like I have to do this, it has to be this way, it has to be this job, it has to be that person. That's really rigid thinking, and it doesn't give you movement or flexibility in terms of what can unfold for you. So this one is saying you can stay powerful and be open and flexible to how things are going to change. So you don't have to be rigid and know the outcome just to feel comfortable, because none of us can really know how it's all going to unfold. So you can pretend and fool yourself that you're comfortable, nothing's changing. So in that regard, you're going to be safe. But that insecurity comes from trauma or troubled insecurity thinking, where you're protecting yourself by not moving or not expanding or not growing or not loving or being loved. And so claim back your power, move your focus back to your soul, and accept where you are right now, knowing that you are both a fool and a master. So if you're only in the master energy, that can come off as arrogant. And with the kind of wise sage energy, the sage knows that they have a lot to learn. The sage knows that they can make mistakes. And so when you let go of this fixation energy, maybe some truths will be revealed to you in terms of what you feel in your heart, and certain energies that you can now let go of for your highest and best, so that you can transform into a new version of yourself and really let go of some of these insecurities from the past that are keeping you held back. And you might not really understand the extent of that until you let go of feeling like you have to protect yourself all the time by holding back or being isolated. So let's see what we have. Oh, that's so funny. To clarify that card of being fixated and being shocked about how things have unfolded or are unfolding in your life, we have the dragon again. So you guys have, from two different decks, the dragon energy. This is all about your power, right? But dragons are magical, mythical creatures, right? So this is about what you can't see as well. This is about what you can't quite put your finger on. What do you know in your soul that you can't look at a book or a piece of paper that kind of confirms that for you through statistical analysis, right? So power and strength resonating to the number 6. I'll just read from the booklet here. 24. You guys have a powerful reading today. The dragon comes to offer you its power and strength to protect and fortify you on this leg of your journey. The dragon symbolizes true power and reminds you that this infinite source is not found within your personality or ego. So some of you guys might have been tripping over your ego because the ego is the one that wants to protect at all costs. But that really pushes people away and might sabotage in a lot of different ways. So it says true power resides deep within your soul. This could be those epiphanies, dreams, telepathy, energy coming through that you're like, whoa, this is on a totally new level. I am totally taken aback. So call on the dragon's spiritual power and strength, and you will find a vast resource to strengthen your resolve. You might be terrified of morality, of rejection, of abandonment. So it says through morality, integrity, and purpose. If you're struggling with these issues, the dragon will restore them to you. Remember that power of the spiritual world can never be broken, and true strength is found within, not in the outside world. So that's that materialism. Never mistake a gentle man for a weak one. Watch for a signal. The dragon always makes the next step clear and gives you the power to take it. So you guys might be feeling insecure or powerless in a situation because you want it to have a certain outcome. Spirit is reminding you you can't control the outcome, but what you can do is sit in your own power more. So even if you do get rejected, or even if it doesn't go as planned, you know that you were in your strength. You know that you took a risk in your power, that you didn't stay in insecurity and fear. So there's a very nice message there in terms of you have the power. It's just whether or not you're going to choose to be in your ego or choose to be in your spirit at this time. But you have a lot of resources helping you move forward into a better, more, gentle way of flow. So you're still going to have to do work. You're still going to have to invest, make decisions, connect with people, but in a different way than you did before, which will bring you a lot more contentment and overall enjoyability of life. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that message, Aquarius. You got such strong energies there. And if you're watching and you want a private card pull, I'd be more than happy to pull a card for you. So if you do want a card, just put yes, please in the comments, and I will pull a card for you. If not, if you're catching this on the replay, once again, you can find me on Facebook at Kindred Heart Tarot and on Instagram at Mollie Kindred. So if you don't want the card pull for you, then that is going to be it for you, beautiful Aquarius. Take care of you guys, self-care, do some yoga, listen to some meditation energy, bring yourself home to your body, get comfortable again, and understand that there's a lot of powerful energy at this time assisting you in changing your life for the better, and how you have seen the world before might not be the way you're going to be seeing it, now or in the near future. So a lot of big, beautiful shifts happening for Aquarius. And so that is it for the reading today, you guys. Catch the replay if you want. Definitely, if you've enjoyed this reading, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to catch the next ones. All right, guys, I will make the Aquarius playlist today, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.